Hey, welcome back. Last time we cleared out pretty much the entirety of the distribution center, but there's still something I want to show off. So let's make our way back up there. It's so nice not having to deal with the non-firing effects of those energy cells. Hop in here. The screw attack opens up a lot of avenues of exploration, as you might imagine. There's one particular avenue that we want to explore. It's this room here. There's more than one transport tube out of here. So where do they go? Well, if you work your way through them, you'll realize they actually lead back to old areas. So that big room in the distribution center is actually sort of the... how should I put it? The hub world? Sort of? The closest this game has to a central point from which you can travel to different places at a rapid clip. The closest thing this game has to a fast travel system, basically. This is, of course, helpful if you've missed any items in the other areas and you need a quick way to get around to them. So this one leads up here to the industrial center. There's one pipe up here that, if I can get into it, leads over to the tower. I'm always suspicious of blank spaces on the map, so that's why I set that power bomb off. Yeah, these places were very well hidden, and were only accessible with the screw attack, so we couldn't have gotten to them before we actually picked up the screw attack in the distribution center. But as I pondered over last time, we've cleared out the tower, so there's no need to actually return to it. Still need to head down that way. And indeed, that's our next plot destination. But not our actual destination this episode. We will not be heading down an advancing plot this episode. As if there's, much plot to speak of in this Metroid game. But you know what I mean. This final pipe leads us all the way back to the Golden Temple from the beginning of the game. And we do actually want to stick around here because there is something that we now have access to, which is conveniently available right from the teleportation spot. There's that Chozo sigil down there that accepts the energy cell. We just need to find an energy cell, and there happens to be one that was distributed at the top of this room. So we just need to bounce it down there. I got pretty lucky with this one. If the energy cells bounce off screen in any fashion, like if you happen to bomb them through a door or something to that effect, they will disappear and respawn back where they originally spawned, and you need to go and pick them back up. Well, let's just clear all this at once. Ooh, that's a lot of speed booster blocks. So, as you might imagine, this room is yet another Shine Spark puzzle. And, it's kind of a tricky one. I don't really know how you're supposed to get these things without figuring out how the Shine Spark works in the first place. There may be a tooltip that tells you how to store a charge in the speed booster item, but I haven't actually looked at it. So of course we're trying to Shine Spark up that slope, but then store it again so we can jump up and Shine Spark our way through the speed booster blocks up there. But getting the angle right is really tricky. Store it up here, and then you have to not ram your head into the ceiling, Samus. Don't do that. That's not helpful to anybody. There we go. Then we need to clear out the super missile block, and then there's this tunnel down here, which is also blocked by chevron speed booster blocks. So, fun little trick. If I can actually pull it off on the first try, that would be nice, but fun little trick. You can go into Morph Ball and then Shine Spark as the Morph Ball. Just imagine a rocket-propelled soccer ball. And all of that effort gets us a well-deserved super missile tank, I believe. I believe it was well-deserved, I mean. And to think that was all hiding here. All along. If you can believe it, there's one more item that we didn't pick up. It's not this way, I don't know what I was thinking. It's outside. We could have theoretically picked it up as soon as we had the spider ball. But that would have involved quite a bit of travel along the ceiling. So, maybe not the best idea. Just a standard missile tank, but again, every little bit's important. Although, we are certainly packing more than enough missiles for the final boss. Here I go again, just filling in every map square for no reason. Nothing else for us to pick up here. I've tried to be as thorough as I can in collecting items my first time through the areas. But if you haven't been as thorough, which there's nothing wrong with, then this room will be quite the boon for you. The one place you can't reach is the hydro station. From the distribution center, I mean. There is a way to reach it. Easily. But I'm not going to bother with it because, again, we picked up it. I believe we've picked up everything. In that hydro station. So that was the distribution center. Long, relatively annoying, and giving you quite the runaround, as most water levels do. But, no matter, we're out of here. We can maybe make our way forward? Nah. Because there's one other area I need to show off. going. I did reveal the blocks that I had to break earlier, I just didn't have the proper item at the time. The proper item being the power bombs. So of course, now that we're more than well equipped, still not a good Shine Spark area. We're heading over here. So I misspoke the first time I came around here. It wasn't the search and rescue team. There were actually two teams Samus was sent to find on planet SR388. One was the search and rescue team, but those aren't the people that were found in the lab to the right. That's the science team. And the science team got here through this elevator. And if we take this elevator, we reach a place that was definitely not in the original Metroid 2. Here we are on the surface of SR388, and over to the right is the GFS Thoth. This isn't a huge place to explore, it's not a giant labyrinth or anything. In fact, it's probably pretty much to scale with the GFS ships in Metroid Prime 3, if you think about it. And this cave that holds one frog and a power bomb tank, I feel something very ominous about it for some reason. That's the area that was shown in the intro to Metroid Fusion. That's where Samus will later get infected by the X-Parasite. The proliferation of which will be a direct result of the extermination of the Metroids we are carrying out right now. So, nice job breaking it, Samus. Nice job breaking it, Federation. So yeah, again, that ship isn't particularly large to run through. And over here you can see the gunship that they brought along with them. Or rather, the ship of the search and rescue team that was sent to find the science team after they lost contact. This is the science team's ship that we are exploring. And up this elevator, we can head over to the bridge and find a new scan that might tell us something about what happened here. If you scroll down on the old entry, no signal, no signal, no signal, no signal, movement detected in the level 3 east wing. Not ominous in the slightest. So the interesting thing is that it's actually a little hidden, the way to get up to level 3. And come to think of it, the way to get to this save point it's not particularly well hidden, it's just through some vents, but it kind of makes you wonder why it wasn't just made normally accessible. I mean, how were the GFS troops supposed to... or the science team, I'm sorry, I keep mixing it up. How are they supposed to access that save point? Especially when they're carrying creatures like these. This lab is clearly holding dangerous creatures of some variety. And there's this energy tank just sitting out here in the open, just waiting for us to pick it up. Our last energy tank of the game, in fact. These monsters would later appear in Fusion, I believe. Oh! We have contact. The Genesis is an optional, I'd say boss, but he doesn't quite have enough health to be a boss. But he can be surprisingly dangerous if you're not careful. He will jump to Samus's location on the floor very easily. He has this spitting attack that, like previous laser attacks, does not invoke hit stun invincibility or anything to that effect. It will just hit you with every single bit of slime. And he can chain gank you by landing on top of you and then striking with his claws. But he didn't have that much health. Not enough health to survive several super missiles to the face, at least. So that Genesis escaped and wiped out all of the personnel that were left on the ship. If you were to go and look at that scan in the logbook right now, it would probably still say movement detected, but that would be a lie as of this point. There is no more movement in the ship. And that's all there is to this area. A couple of power bomb tanks, our last energy tank, and an optional mini-boss. Apparently the Genesis appears in Fusion. Like, for sure appears in Fusion, but I don't actually remember it. It has been several years since I last played Fusion, though. So this was kind of a breather episode in terms of the content and the number of Metroids we're dealing with. This is our first episode with no Metroids to speak of. All there was to show off today was a couple of cool things that were added to the game. And those will have to do for today. Next time I'm gonna go run around and do a little bit of cleanup in terms of items, so that we're well on our way to 100%. Hope to see you then.